And with that, I want to bring on my amazing co-host and presenter with me, David O. David is, of course, the head of regulatory. David is also someone who's got extensive experience, of course, in the medical industry. Worked in oncology. He's a University of Toronto graduate, which is one of the biggest universities here in Canada, in Toronto, as a matter of fact. So we're really excited to have David on, constantly looking at ingredients, product evolution, development with myself and of course, our product development team. So David, I want to welcome you to the call. Good night to you.
Hi, Sanaz. Hi, everyone. I hope all's well.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. Thank you.
You look like you got a nice tan on the weekend. Were you doing outside work or what?
Whoa. Oh, you know what? I was out. Yeah, I dark and easy, though. I got an advantage, right? So, yeah, I was outside. Not a lot, but yeah, I was out for a bit. But it could be the lighting in my room, too. So I just got in. So I'm a little disorganized. But
well, you look very tanned.
I'll get more tan as the summer goes on, so it's natural. There we go.
Okay. All right. So David, I'm super excited. There's lots of great stuff that's happening in the company, of course. We are moving, shaking, evolving, expanding. We have been having so much amazing growth in the company. And of course, it's really the backbone of the company, right? The backbone of the company is our product line. Of course, it's our business, it's our growth that we've been having. And so tonight, next week, we have an amazing call that's going to be done by Carl, who's our microsilver expert. And we're going to really cover a lot of our microsilver next week. We have a very special call coming in with our microsilver specialist. So that way we can cover, our skincare, the new Sterling product coming in, the toothpaste, our body lotion that's going to be coming out as well. So a lot of great things is coming. But I want to just talk a little bit about testimonials before I get into anything else, because I find that recently we've been getting some amazing topical testimonials for Fountain of Life. A lot of people are using the product orally and then as well topically, and they're getting phenomenal results from a topical standpoint. And what I mean by that, people are having burns and blisters and allergic reaction and bruising, cuts and wounds, and they're applying Fountain of Life to it. And, they're just getting such phenomenal results. And I want to take it back a little bit because, for those of you that are new, you may not realize Fountain of Life is not this new product that was developed 5 years ago. This is not a new product that was developed 2 years ago. This is an actual amazing product that was created over 20 years ago. And David, from what I remember in sort of the feedback that we received, that this product was actually used for melanoma in the past. Is that right?
Well, it's one of the things that they started studying is melanoma and its impact on it, because they were using it in sunscreen sunscreen preparations, to address free radical damage. When they noticed that people using it had changes in their skin when using it, so it is under consideration for for melanoma right now. It's something that the researchers are looking at, is how this extract affects it. So they are studying it, and they're in the midst of doing so. Haven't seen the paper yet, but it's one thing that they're very excited about seeing, and hopefully it will help take it beyond just a product to mop up free radicals.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. I want to just reiterate to everyone, David, this is not a new product that was created yesterday. This is a product that has been, growing and evolving and building and expanding in the market. Mm-hmm. And, when we basically started to work with Fountain of Life, we branded it as Fountain of Life for many different reasons. And for those of you who have ever looked at the logo, the Fountain of Life, you will see many attributes to the product that is actually pretty amazing. Number one, if you noticed the colors that we've chosen orange and green. So I want to just get some feedback from our audience today, and I want to see if you guys understand and know the heritage and the background of the logo itself of Fountain of Life. So for those of you that have never noticed, Fountain of Life, if you have a bottle near you, I don't actually have one near me, but if you have a bottle near you, oh, there we go. All right, so David is holding one up. If you guys actually pay attention to the logo, I want you guys to type in the message box telling me what is the trunk of the tree. What is the trunk of the tree? If you've never paid attention, I want you guys to pay attention. What is the trunk of the tree? I don't think anyone has ever noticed it. Let's see who types it in the message box here. What is the trunk of the tree? What is it the shape of? Not the color. What is the shape? Aha, Shamila, you got it. 2 hands. That's right. It is, if I can move back, it is 2 hands doing this. Watch your video. It is 2 hands doing this. Have you guys ever noticed that? There's just so much design that went into that, David. And I think people just don't realize the creativity and the love that went in it. I'm going to teach you guys that tonight, okay? Next, what is, of course, the green part? Look at the green part. David's like, am I allowed to answer? No, David.
I wouldn't answer. I was there during the creation, and I heard.
I know. You remember we had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you guys are seeing, it's some beautiful leaves and it's green. And what does green represent? Earth, right? Green represents nature. Green represents all of the good things that nature has to offer. So it's actually quite symbolic if you really paid attention to the logo. It's this, you know, the green is healing, the green is nature, the green is earth, the green is beauty. And then the orange is actually 2 hands. And the green of the leaves is almost shaped, you know, we shaped it for the globe aspect of it. Because at the end of the day, you know, when we say created by nature, perfected by science, when it comes to our fairy flawless lineup, really, Fountain of Life came from that, right? So really, this was created by nature. It was created by God's creation, these beautiful leaves. And we had to kind of brand it for you guys. Now, let's go into, I know many of you love colors. And I think, Pauline, you're like the diva of color. What does orange color stand for? Can anyone tell me what the orange color stands for? Orange, let's see. Today was gonna be a little bit of a different training. So I'm gonna give you guys some hints. Orange radiates warmth, right? Orange radiates, what else? Happiness, vitality, I love it. Sunshine, joy, heat. Okay, now I want you guys to think about it for a second. How do you feel? Growth. I love that, Yulia. Love that. Creativity. All right. I want you guys to now think how you feel when you take the Fountain of Life. Growth. Where grows with Fountain of Life? What grows with Fountain of Life? Think about it. Hair, replenishing of new skin, right? Nails, I love it. You get a better glow. Do you guys ever feel the heat of Fountain of Life? How you feel when you put it under your tongue? That blood circulation that starts to pop all around you, the energy it gives you, the vibrancy it gives you. Have you guys ever thought about it? Isn't that amazing how creative Fountain of Life has been done to be able to be put together? So really the logo represents so much. And so many of us Look at this logo, David, and sometimes don't even realize all of the amazing creation. If you remember, we went through a gajillion names and colors and combinations to create what we have been able to do. I love it. Energy, energetic. It has heat when you take it. You got it. You feel more lively and more focused. Joy. I love it. And that's exactly what Fountain of Life is all about. It's about giving you energy. It's about giving you heat. It's about giving you vitality. It's about getting you to keep on moving. David, tell me why the product does that now.
Just before I say that, another thing about orange, it connotes the notion of success. So it's important to understand that. But why does the Fountain of Life do all this? I think that what we've captured in a bottle is the essence of, the Norwegian spruce and how it manages to survive. They tried to figure this out for years, and they discovered that it was the lignins that were in this tree just growing in northern Finland. So for those who think that they'll go to the backyard and try and harvest their Norwegian spruce, it doesn't have the same power, unless you're living in northern Finland, mind you. But it's very unique to a region. And believe me, the Finnish have already gone to the southern areas of Finland to think that, let's try it there. And they couldn't get the same extract out of it. Carried lignins, but not of the same quality or quantity. So what we're seeing really is the essence of the tree in the bottle. But how does that tree go so tall, so large? How does it manage to survive pestilence and disease, drought? All these things is because of the lignins in the product that make this a very, very powerful, powerful plant. And, for us as humans, we're taking that in as a food supplement, as one of the most important functional foods we can have. And the testimonials we are receiving from around the world are just proof that it's been over 4 years. We've got, many people using the product, and the testimonials keep growing. And so it's not that halo effect or whatever you want to call it. It really is showing that there is some traction here, that it goes way beyond just believing, is seeing the scientific proof. And the doctors are responding. When we have doctors asking their patients, what are you using? And why are you getting such wonderful results? And, they might not understand it, but they wholeheartedly are encouraging them to continue using the product because they feel that whatever it's doing, it's helping them. And what we're doing is reducing the free radical damage that can otherwise occur, that causes so much chronic inflammation, that causes so much damage to our bodies and souls. So we have a product that is unique, something that's powerful, something that is natural, and something that is sustainable. So anyone who's new here, please understand that in the country of Finland, all the forests are owned by families, basically 70% are. And they have a sustainability program that's been in place for decades to make sure that their forests are always replenished. We don't kill any trees. What we're doing is taking the byproduct of the pulp and paper industry, and we're using this, that to create Fountain of Life. So we're repurposing something that was discarded, and we're making it into something that's very useful for the masses. So I hope anyone who hasn't tried it, I always encourage them to try it and see the difference it would make.
Okay, David,
For
I
sure.
see a
And
question. It says in the end, does FOL help with collagen?
Does it help with collagen? It's a lignin. Lignins help with collagen. When placed topically it's sort of a funny thing. They have been applying lignins on top of the skin, as you know, as we grow older. Understand, number one, genetics plays a big role in the way we age. Black skin has 4 times the collagen as white skin. And that's why people of the Black heritage don't age at the same rate as people who have who are white or Caucasian. It's because of the collagen difference. Same with Asians. So collagen differences in the skin make a big difference. Now, the one thing that I've discovered over the years is that there's more studies on that, but if you apply, uh, lignans to the skin in a solution that's good for you, 5% solution is the ideal amount. And placing it in a cream or whatever, 5%, you can create something that will help the collagen of your skin, supporting the collagen and the appearance of your skin. And they have shown improvement. Okay.
Sorry about that, David.
Okay.
All right, so David, I want to take it to now a little bit more when it comes to the green element of Fountain of Life. We covered the orange element. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to give you enough time to do your research. Are you guys ready to tell me? First of all, we know the green represents the tree. And what does trees, I guess, of course, represent? What does green represent? Because those are the kind of colors that we use in our logo. And I want to make sure you guys understand your logo, because when it comes to branding, when it comes to creation, when it comes to the development, when it comes to putting it all together, I want to make sure that you guys understand your product, because everything is very strategically done in the company. Everything is about our brand. Everything is about the unity of all of you understanding. And remember, you guys are the CEO of your own company, right? You are the owners of your own product. So sometimes these type of things and these type of stories become great for you guys to share with your customers. And when they ask you about Fountain of Life, you can just kind of start with the very basics before you get into, oh, it's an antioxidant, it's antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory. So David, let's leaf through them. Of course, they're green. Green is renewal in nature. It gives you oxygen. It's rebirth. Green represents world plants. Renewal, green is renewal, gives us oxygen. Growth, power, and development. Green for nature or earth. I love it. The main one that you guys are keep on repeating is renewal. And I think all of us have had this experience, freshness. I think all of you have felt what Fountain of Life is doing for you, right? Do you all feel that rejuvenation and that renewal and bringing back the youth and getting rid of your aches and pains and inflammation and maybe arthritis pain, or seeing your hair grow, or seeing your hormones becoming more balanced, or seeing your inflammation going down? Isn't that amazing how this product delivers on even the look, feel, and vibe of what it is? And David, this is the part that I absolutely love about the creation of this product. And I don't think we talk about the logo enough. For those of you that got on a little bit late, we talked about what the Fountain of Life logo works on. And if you actually look at the branch of the Fountain of Life logo, it is actually two hands like this going like spread out like that is holding basically tree leaves. So I wanted to teach you all of that, because a lot of you are sharing and promoting and selling the product, but you don't actually look at the nitty gritty of the product and what it brings. And then the journal aspect of it is another big part as well. So green is one of the colors of the heart. It's called chakra love. I love that. Vitality, health, balance, and growth. So David, the green element of course, Fountain of Life, the nature aspect of it. I mean, I love the fact that we're using the byproduct of the tree. We're not a part of deforestation. We're not actually chopping down trees to create this product. I love that. We're taking basically the byproduct of the tree, and we're using the not, I don't want to say the wrong thing. The knotwood.
Knotwood and the stem heartwood. And the reason it's not used is
Can you explain to us what that means?
Yeah, when a branch grows into the trunk of the tree, it grows right in, and it's darkened areas of wood with high concentrations of lignans, and so that grows right into that. So what they do is when they're removing that area, they actually take out that dark section because they don't want that in the paper and the pulp. So they remove that as part of the process, and we're there to take it. But it takes, just so you know, it takes 50 tons of that to make one, I should say 20 to 50 tons of that to make 1 ton of Fountain of Life. So there's a lot of we do manage to harvest a lot of product that way, but again, otherwise that would be just thrown to the side. So we are part of the ecological movement within Finland that way.
Amazing. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, when we were again looking at creating the logo, designing it, putting the infrastructure, even coming up with a name, we basically went through a lot of deliberation to make a decision on what we wanted to be able to do and to create and to better understand. So we looked at a lot of those elements: the shape, the color, the tone, the feel, the vibe. And Fountain of Life has really, really become a game changer for many, 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 many of you. By the way, the reason that we're focusing so heavily on Fountain of Life today is next week we have Carl Richard, who's our microsilver expert. He's going to be on a special call with us. So we're going to be covering the microsilver extensively. We're going to be talking about sterling. We're going to be talking about, of course, the microsilver spray. We're going to be talking about our toothpaste. We're going to be talking about, of course, our anti-aging skincare regimen. So next week is going to be also jam-packed. Make sure you guys are sharing it with your team. And so, you know, David, the other thing as well that we wanted to do was the orange from the you know, orange part of the logo also represents the color combination of what Fountain of Life is. And it basically has this amber orangey color. But I want to talk a little bit about the color, because the color can vary from batch to batch. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, the irony is that people want natural. They always say, I like natural products. And then they'll call us and go, why does the product look and taste a little different? It's because it's natural. You know, it's depending on the ground at which it grows. And as a result, the flavor might vary a little. The color might vary a little. It's not going to vary a lot, but it might vary a little. And as a result, you know, the taste might be a little different. And the thing is, people should really realize is that when we do get hold of Fountain of Life and the extract, it is tested. It is tested for impurities. It is tested for the lignin count. It is tested and tested and tested for microbes, heavy metals, all these things. But it's to ensure, number one, safety, but number two, ensure that the lignins that we are talking about, the lignins that you're promoting on a daily basis, the lignins that we're saying is in Fountain of Life is actually there. So every batch is tested. And then once we get it here, it's tested again. So, but unfortunately, that's the reality, is because it is a natural product, it may taste a little different every so often, or it might look like a little lighter in terms of amber, or it might look darker. It really depends on the ground on which it's growing. It's a variable.
Perfect. And you know, I'm sorry, can you repeat that last part?
Yeah, it's just a variable that we cannot control. It's a variable that, you know, because we don't know where that tree is growing. We just know it's in northern Finland.
So David, I want to talk a little bit about another topic as well. Many of us take Fountain of Life, and we know that the color and the bitterness can vary to vary. Of course, we always recommend for everyone to store their Fountain of Life at a room temperature in a cool, dry place. But of course, there is no preservative in the product. So how does the product survive for such a long term?
Well, it is in itself a preservative, which is sort of unique. You know, the lignin itself has preservative factors, and they've studied that. It's sort of one of those things like the active is a preservative, which is the active, and it goes in a big circle. But because of that, we're able to do that. Now, when we check it, we're checking it constantly. It has an incredible shelf life. We're only claiming 2 years, but you know, so far it's been active past that. So, yeah, that's why. It's because it itself, the product itself, acts as a preservative as well as an active ingredient.
Isn't that amazing, David? I'm so blown away by that, because I know a lot of products have all these preservatives. And the fact that Fountain of Life itself is an antibacterial product, it just does not need it doesn't need the preservatives. And it actually has a much longer shelf life than any other product I've ever seen in the market.
Well, it's unaffected by heat. It's unaffected by UV radiation. So if you forget, not that we're recommending it, but let's say you got you left it in your car on a very hot day. You're not going to really ruin the product. I've left this product in the cold and the heat, hasn't affected anything in terms of its performance. UV light does not affect it. It means that it is a very stable product. And other vitamins, you cannot do that. Other antioxidants, you simply cannot do that. You leave it in a hot car, you might as well throw it out at the end of the day because it's ruined. And so
That's right.
there are some unique properties to this, but it gives us really true value for what we're offering, because we do know that sometimes we forget it in the oddest of places, but it is perfectly stable as a product, and I'm really pleased about that, because it's one thing we're always looking at. From our end, we look at the stability. How long is this good for, and under what conditions? And so for the people using it on a daily basis around the world in different climates and different conditions, we know it works for them each and every single day, regardless of where they are, where they live.
David, what really blew me away when we were working on this product, I mean, we're putting, originally, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Health Canada mandates for any supplement to have a 2-year shelf life. We were able to extend that, get an approval based on data. Now we're putting 3 years on basically the shelf life of this product. But from what we understand, and from what Dr. Alnez, which is the creator and developer of this amazing revolutionary product, he was actually mentioning to us that this actually has a 10-year shelf life plus, but based on regulations, based on Canada law, based on the fact that we're a Canadian company, based on the fact that we're doing Canadian bottling, we can only put a maximum shelf life of 3 years. But in reality, as I mentioned, how many years plus? Let's see if you guys were listening and paying attention. Yay, Yulia, you're my girl. You too, Shamila. You guys are on top of your game. I love it. I love it. Tammy, there we go. 10 years plus. Exactly. Now, David, I want to talk a little bit about something, because I know we have a lot of people that don't drink wine or don't drink alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I always like to use alcohol as an analogy, because when it comes to wine, and I want you guys to pay attention to this, when it comes to wine and whiskey, they need to be fermented, okay? The longer they are put into their basically barrels, the longer that the grapes are crushed, it basically gets it tasting better, and it becomes finer. And they use the analogy, the older the wine, the older the lady is, like finer wine. And I never understood that. And then I want to talk to you guys about something very, very cool. So Fountain of Life, we started to look at the bottom of the barrel, okay? And I want to explain this to you just in case you ever get a bottle. Pay attention to this. So the bottom of the barrel is of the product that we have. The bottom of the barrel in wine, it would have all the little grapes, and it would have the most, I guess, potent part of the product in the bottom of the barrel. Well, Fountain of Life is no different, right? This is a natural supplement that when it's put into its barrel to basically, I don't want to say brew, but to be created and to kind of be combined, then basically becomes stronger. So if you ever find a little bit of cloudiness in your product, don't have fear. That could be the best part of the barrel that you're having. And so sometimes, my staff are like, well, what about if customers don't want it? I'm like, leave it for me. I'll have it. That's like the best part of the potency of course, the product. So I just wanted to share that with you, because of course, it's a very, 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 very small batch that goes into, of course, the creation and bottling process Yeah, Tammy and Joy, sediment. You're right. Of course the sediment is that part of it. So David, I want to talk a little bit about that because sometimes customers will have that part of the filling process and they think because it's cloudy the product may not be good, but actually I call it the most potent part of the product. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that really is not sediment. Let's be clear, it's not sediment. It's not uh, anything that is not from the tree. What it is are lignins. Believe it or not, it's the illegal lignins and the secondary and tertiary lignins that are still in solution that come out as as solids in solution. And yes, when I was talking to Dr. Allness years ago about that, and I was discussing that with him about removing that, because there are ways we can do it and they're during the manufacturing process. And he said, but that makes it that much more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that makes it very different. And we started looking at the, GLCs or gas liquid chromatographs. And I was looking at the activity, and I did notice that those, the secondary, tertiary, and illegal lignins, which are chain lignins, add much more power to the 7-hydroxymatyrresinol, the secoisolariciresinol, the alpha-conodendron that's already natural in there, but it improves its potency. So yeah, it is important. I do look for that when I get a bottle. I wanted to see if I could get some, but it's harder to find. But yeah, it is. To be honest with you, I mentioned that to someone in customer service. I said, if someone doesn't want it, I'll take it because it's harder to find because people think it's not good, so they take it out. But really, makes the product that much more potent, and it's just extra lignans that in your diet that you don't have otherwise. And I think people should realize it's a real good thing to have as opposed to a bad thing.
I don't know why I keep on, can you hear me okay, David?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep on cutting out. I think my internet is a little choppy tonight. And
Really?
so, okay, so, but you can hear me okay, right?
You're perfectly stable on my end, so not an issue
Okay.
with you.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about how to take the product because we've been talking about this and some people asking me, can I put this in my protein shake in the morning because I'm putting collagen and I'm putting other, vitamin D and I'm putting basically, my ice cream and I'm putting my juice and I'm putting my vegetables and I'm putting my juicing. So can they put Fountain of Life in this type of product, David?
Yes. There's many ways you could take it. It's just that if you want to take it all at once, if you're doing 30 drops a day, you want to take those 30 drops. You like to take it all at once if you can. That's the best solution for you. Or you do 10 drops 3 times a day. You add it to your food. Yeah, you can do anything with it. You can add it to hot food. You can add it to drink. You can do all sorts of things. Just remember, though, that it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, too. Because if you're, one thing they have learned, and I've said this before, is that for anything to do with your mental health and anxiety and things like that, the best thing to do is take it sublingually because it gets to your bloodstream faster, number one. Number two, it allows for, and I was surprised by this, but they found out that the 7-hydroxymatyrresinol, which is Fountain of Life, it passes through the blood-brain barrier. And whereas enterolactone, which it converts to, does not. And so they're trying to figure out the importance of that right now. So they're quite enthused about finding something like that because they were surprised that it does pass through the blood-brain barrier. So it does get beyond that, and they think that's an important step in our mental health. They haven't proved it yet, so there's a lot of research ongoing right now about this product. It's all positive. People should be excited. But if you're going to take it for that reason, mental health issues, whatever, anxiety, take it sublingually. It's the best thing for you to do.
Amazing. And David, I know with some people, the bitter does bother them. It's okay for them to mix it in a little bit of water and just kind of chug it as well.
Oh, yes. I used to do that, but I got over it pretty quickly. I find that with this product, you get used to it after you get acclimated to the taste, and it's fine. I don't see. I hear from many people as they start using it that they find that it starts tasting sweeter naturally. They think that we change the formulation. Actually, they just get acclimated. The bitter notes to it seems to disappear after time. So.
Okay. So I have a couple questions in our question panel. How does Fountain of Life compare to activation of pathways that increase the production of antioxidants?
Okay, well, number one, when we take a look at what we're looking at, Fountain of Life is converting to enterolactone. That's the main thing. There's other products out there that convert to enterodiol first, but then turns into enterolactone. Some of them don't do it as efficiently as ours, whatever, so it's a little different. This is not producing glutathione. This is not creating superoxide dismutase. These are all different. There are different pathways throughout the body. And I can't go through every antioxidant out there, but I can tell you that the way that ours goes, is converted by bacteria when you swallow it in the small intestine to enterolactone. And the enterolactone is very important in reducing chronic inflammation in our bodies. So that's the important thing for you to know. And that's the pathway that it's taken. It doesn't go to enterodiol first, it goes to enterolactone immediately. So that secondary step is not taken with our product. I hope that makes sense.
Second question I have, sorry?
Yeah, no, I just hope that makes sense.
I think so. Let me know, for our team, if the questions that you are asking, that was from Ari Garcia. Let me know if that makes sense for you, my dear. Another question that comes up is Fountain of Life sensitive to heat? If the bottle is placed in a hot place or getting exposed to the sun, can it affect the product?
No, it's heat stable. We don't recommend to keep it not into, we like to keep it at room temperature, but it is heat stable. That's one thing. It's not like a synthetic vitamin that would break down. It's very stable that way. In fact, it's stable even in the cold. So it's an incredible product that way. And no, it's not going to affect it whatsoever in terms of performance and its lignins.
David, I found that when it's in the heat, it actually tastes a little bit more sweet. Is there a reason why?
No, I don't think there is any reason for that, but I think it tastes a little different, but I think it's just because of the trimethylene glycol mixing together more than anything. You got an excipient there, but it really doesn't affect anything. There's so many tests that have been done to show that this is a heat stable product.
Amazing. Now, I know we have a lot of new people, and the question that comes up a lot of time, does Fountain of Life have products like calcium, mineral, iron, all of those attributes in the Fountain of Life? Can you clarify that answer as well, David?
Well, it's tested for trace minerals, of course. That's problematic, but and it comes from that. But they're too. If it's in there, it's too low to be acknowledged, so it's not included in the calculations whatsoever. It has to reach a certain level. So yeah, it's not going to do that.
Yeah, the only thing that we want to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, we do the comparison. If you take 10 drops, it's like equivalent to 1,800 apples. I think what you need to understand is we're not saying it's 1,800 apples and like vitamins and minerals, but it's more in the antioxidant. It's the count of lignans that we talk about. Because I know there's a lot of new people, and sometimes you see the brochure and you don't understand when we say 1,800 apples or 50 cups of green tea, what that means. It's basically an antioxidant in the lignan value of what the product is, okay? Did I say that properly, David?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so from the question that Audrey had asked, she wrote, thank you. So does it in fact activate the internal production of antioxidants just bit through CAT or through the SOD? Is that correct?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that it converts to, enterolactone. It has nothing to do with superoxide dismutase or CAT or anything like that. What it has to do with enterolactone and its conversion to enterolactone, which is a natural mammalian lignin antioxidant. And so that's what it's converting to. It's not converting, it's not activating superoxide dismutase. It's a whole different mechanism. And no, it's not doing that.
Amazing. Thank you for that, David. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that clarifies your questions and what you've been asking. Of course, for those of you that know, Fountain of Life has just been so life-changing for so many of you. And so Pauline writes, it does help with thyroid underactive and overactiveness as it helped my friend Sanaz. Okay, so that's great to know. And again, remember, our bodies are all so different. We all get different testimonials. We all get different results at different times in different ways. So, stay true to yourself, stay true to what the product is doing. Just because it hasn't worked for you right away, it doesn't mean the product is not working. So that's really, really important to make sure that, you guys are consistent with using the product to make sure that you're getting the ultimate results, but also keeping in mind that it takes time. Like, Fountain of Life is not going to kick in the first day that you start to take it. For everybody, it works in such a different way. So that is very, very important as well to keep that in mind. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, as you all remember, we've always shared with you guys that we do have a QR code for you guys to scan. You always want to take a picture of this. You always want to send this to your brand new partners to make sure that they have the QR code for tonight's call. Every Monday, it's super vital and important to make sure you get on these calls. I want to hear some feedback from you guys today. What was the one thing that you learned or you picked up or had that aha moment today? What was the one thing that you learned about tonight's call? Type in the message box. I want to just see where we're at, what you're learning, what we could focus on as well. What would you like to see on the Monday calls? What are your favorite Monday calls? I know next week we have our special guest, David. There's going to be 3 of us on our panel list. It's going to be myself, yourself, and Carl. But I want some feedback from our partners to basically see. Of course, you guys all know time is running out for our incredible promotion. 12 hours left. So we had already extended this. Of course, this is the Pandemic Relief 2.0. It is a limited time offer. We're giving you till noon tomorrow, 50% off all upgrades. Make sure that you are on top of it. Make sure that you are taking advantage of these upgrades. We did this once last year. This is the last time this year we're going to do this. Once it's done, it's done. I mean, it was $390 as a retailer to a lifestyle promoter. It is only $195 Canadian. And of course, as a retailer to a lifestyle advisor, it was $1,290. It is now only $645. So it's so exciting. And of course, if you are a lifestyle promoter, you want to ultimately get yourself to an LA, it was $900. It's now $450. And you might say, okay, why do I need to go to become a lifestyle advisor? Well, the advantages are you get to maximize your earning potential. You get to maximize your buying power. So you are just getting so much more. You are MGRS qualified. And of course, you have to be at an LA level minimum to get MGRS qualified. And most importantly, it is your first step to more benefits and rewards. How many of you want more benefits and rewards? Well, this is all coming to an end for the year in less than 12 hours. So make sure you take advantage of it. A friendly reminder, if you are wanting to download the app, this is for Android and of course, Apple Store. All you got to do is just open your camera on your phone right now and just scan and you will be able to see, of course, the beauty of the app open up and make sure you download it. If you haven't updated your app, download and update your app as well. Of course, you guys know we have our e-catalogs. And tomorrow, that was my drum roll, we are releasing these gorgeous, sexy colors. 100% made in Portugal, genuine leather, gorgeous brown. And of course, it's got this beautiful hand-painted ombre in the front and the black on black. It is absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely sexy. For the gentlemen, these are the two new colors for Timothy. These are perfect gifts for Father's Day. That's just around the corner. And ladies, are you ready to bring out your sexy? And again, these are the gorgeous, gorgeous brandy shoes. They come in white and turquoise, black and red. They come in that beautiful, gorgeous, sexy snake print, python print, purple color called Viola. And you want to make sure you are taking advantage of these gorgeous, gorgeous shoes. The heel is only 4.5 inches, so they are versatile. They're super easy to wear, and they are super gorgeous. All right. Tomorrow, we are also releasing our gorgeous 950 Palladium jewelry. These are Hollywood pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Super gorgeous. I've incorporated lots of yellow gold, beautiful designs, very bold statements, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm super, super excited to be releasing industry's first 950 silver palladium composition collection. These are 95% pure silver. They're hypoallergenic. They're absolutely gorgeous with natural rhodium and palladium plating. And I cannot wait for you guys to have them in your hands. And last but not least, best products for dad. Check out all of those gorgeous pieces, whether you're looking for gorgeous slippers or that briefcase or the shoes or the watches. These are great. And we have a promotion on this big watch box. It is now only $69.99. Offer ends June 20th. So again, we have this Father's gift guide that is going live tomorrow, June the 1st. All of this is going live tomorrow. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing day tomorrow. June 1st, remember, new beginning, new start, new day. And you want to make sure you are taking advantage of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much going on in the company. There is so much happening. The new promotion, the new campaign launches tomorrow. We are super excited. We are launching so many beautiful, sophisticated, sexy, elegant pieces for all of our partners, because that's, again, what Opulence stands for. And of course, you know, we are super excited for all of the promotions that are happening. Remember, the upgrade promotion ends tomorrow. Save up your amazing shopping credits to be able to take advantage of all of the fun that is happening with the company. With that, David, I don't know if there's any more questions, but I want to thank you for being on every single week. Tomorrow, I want to share with everybody, yes, it does end, Stephanie, tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon. We're going to give you all of those last minute people that are calling the office and begging us, wait, we were getting phone calls all to like up to 6 p.m. today. So our staff is in at 8 a.m. tomorrow. You have 8 to 12. I mean, 12 is like the ultimate max. If you call me at 12:01 or call the office at 12:01, the answer is no. Okay, 12 p.m. We're already extending it for another 12 hours for all of you last minute people that called us at 5:01 and said, wait, I have one more. And so 12 noon tomorrow, it ends Eastern Standard Time. So take advantage of that. Tomorrow night, are you guys ready? We have a forensic call. Daniela, for our sales development manager, and our CEO will both be on to share with you guys all of the releases live, with all of you tomorrow. Get your entire team on, especially if somebody missed the Saturday call, get them on live as we release tomorrow night with all of the amazing excitement. With that, once again, David, I want to thank you for, of course, doing such an amazing job every single week. Naima, I want to thank you for being our super host of the month. You've done such an amazing job of being our host this month. I hope you've learned so much. I hope you've grown so much. It's been a pleasure to have you as a host, sweetheart. And I loved working with you.
Thank you very much, Sanas. I really do appreciate your encouragement. Your I learned a lot, although it was like very hard for me, but I learned a lot. And I was telling Steph this morning, telling her like, you know what, I think I learned a lot, making a lot of mistakes along the way, but I can do another month. I said so. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you, and I do appreciate David for coming here every week and giving us all the we call it golden nuggets. So I'm thankful for all of you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you who came tonight. And let's not forget to take advantage of that 12 hours that we got, extended. So thank you, dear, and everyone have a good night or good morning. See you tomorrow. I think, is it gonna be YouTube live tomorrow like last week? I'm not sure. Difference.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a YouTube one as well, so we can broadcast it. You guys will have a lot of fun with our CEO. I'll be on in the background as well, enjoying the call.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, my dear, for clarifying that, and have a good night, everyone.
All right, you know what? God bless you. Thank you for being on. I know you were a busy mom of 3 kids, and the fact that you made yourself available, the fact that you stepped up to the plate to become a host. It's not easy being host for corporate. You had to fill some big shoes, and you've done a phenomenal job. We are super, super proud of you. You know what? When you step out of your comfort zone and when you jump into deep waters, that's where you become a great swimmer. I look forward to seeing you at the top. I look forward to seeing on the cruise. I look forward to you growing and expanding and soaring like you've been doing for the past month. And I know it's been a pleasure for David and I to have you on. And David, as usual, thank you again. Next week, we have Carl on, our micro silver specialist. And with that, I look forward to seeing you all next week as well.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Sanas. Thank you, Night.
All right, team. Good night, everybody.
Have a nice evening.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.